Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another AC Milan, no, Milan Weekly podcast. Here we talk everything. Did you at least plug your headphones?
Yes.
Here we talk everything Milan from third place Serie A, Coppa Italia 6 weeks apart, possibly Champions League next year, and we're not professional.
Nor do we pretend to be.
What are these gang signs? What are you doing?
3 times.
Before we start, to Milan Club, as we're showing up over here, you see here the nice scarf that we got, and I wore their polo this weekend. 5-year anniversary, sent them over a nice little video. I saw you guys had a great celebration over there, and hopefully we carry on that celebration into the derby, because we are in Clima Derby. And speaking of Clima Derby, Steve, Presidente did give us somewhat of presidential points for us and our guests, you know. But between calculus camp to derby time, right? There was a lot happening for Presidente. Was that the
Spring
case?
is in the air, Vinny.
Spring is in the air. Well, why don't you just, take the time to put everybody in perspective, paint us a picture of how these presidential points came to be.
As we spring forward, ladies and gentlemen, Presidente is getting ready for summertime.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? Presidente, he had trouble, when he was a youngster, watching cartoons. His parents really didn't understand He-Man and G.I. Joe. No. Presidente was watching 80s cheesy sitcoms.
Just like,
a little bit of Magnum. Never hurt anybody.
This was probably his favorite show.
So Presidente, he loved the Ferrari. He loved the hair. He loved the Hawaiian shirts. The stash. And this is the music that Presidente, down in the basement, he's getting ready. Ready for summer. So, you know what? I could say he trains like Rocky. But Rocky trains like Presidente.
Well, all this time I had it wrong. So he's doing what? Sit-ups? He's doing crunches?
No, he doesn't do sit-ups. He bench presses cases of tomato. The San Vital. 1, 2, 1, 2. San Vital. San Vital. And then it's sopressata time and it's salchicha time. So he's grinding the meat. Grind that meat, Presidente. 10 kg di carne. 20 kg di carne. 30 kg di carne. 50 kg di carne.
And at this point, that's where, as he's doing all of this, that's
everything comes to him. Everything's points. You just play that music a little bit more for me, Vinny.
Yeah, you like that music? Guys, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're doing yourself a disfavor. You should be watching the dance moves right now by. He's doing the sprinkler right now. He's doing the sprinkler. So, but we do have a guest waiting there.
1, 2,
So San Marzano.
San Marzano cases of tomato, everybody. Third place, Milan. We're ready. Call this guy. Call him.
And for you young kids out there listening, do yourself a favor.
Watch the Magnum.
Go on YouTube and see what Magnum PI is all about, right? So basically, we have from the beautiful state of New York.
Call him up.
We're gonna call him right now. We're just gonna go directly from. Let me just call him.
That music just set me in the mood, my friend.
It's
going to be a podcast of all podcasts.
All right.
Boom.
Hello?
Here we have live, we have a gentleman from New York. He's just south of the border from us, Mr. Claudio Perfetto. And Claudio, I need to put you in perspective right now. We just went through 2 minutes of Magnum PI soundtrack. Steve is on fire. He's in the mood. He was putting everybody in perspective, and he channeled his inner Tom Selleck. Welcome to the Milan Weekly Pod, Claudio. Thank you very much for joining us. Oh, sorry, I'm making too much noise. Sorry. Why don't you just begin by telling us who you are, how you came to be as a Milan fan, what you do, Twitter machine, all the great stuff. Go ahead and plug yourself.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to doing the podcast. I watch and listen to you guys, so it's very entertaining. I'm glad to be a part of it. as far as myself, I'm from New York, like you said, or New York, as you would like to say, and grew up here. But Italian, I'm from Italian parents, so very, very Italian still. And on Twitter, I'm at cprofeto11. I write for DeMarzio. So a lot of transfer news, work closely with David Amoyal. Recently, actually, I filled in on his podcast while he was away and hosted the Calcio Land podcast with Alex Goldberg for a couple episodes.
And Claudio, let's say congratulations to Alex because he's going to be a father.
We did last week.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, but we're giving him congratulations again.
Sorry.
All right, so please, go ahead.
Congrats to Alex. That's very true. I'm sure if his future child is not a Chelsea fan, he's probably going to be very disappointed. But back to myself, I also write for SempreMilan.com and CloudSports.info, which Cloud Sports is where you find all of my opinion pieces, I guess, on Serie A as a whole. And Sempre Milan, obviously, I do a lot of Milan-based stuff, player ratings, match previews and reports and things of that nature. And as far as myself, I have a very similar story to Steve. Actually, my father is Juventino, and so is my brother. So how I became a Milan fan, I guess it was just when I first started watching Calcio, when I was young. My first real memory of it was the 1994 World Cup. And on that team, the Italian team at the time, we all know a core of it was from Milan. Maldini, Baresi, Albertini, Donadoni. Later on, Baggio even left Juventus to come to Milan. So just that time period, Milan was very, very strong. I had a family friend who used to just dress me up as Ruud Gullit when I was young, very, very young. So all those things combined, and the team's strong play on the field, obviously, during that time period, led me to become a very proud Milan fan. So that's my story.
It's fantastic. But me, I have one serious question, and I think I could speak for me and Steve here. Now, as an Italian from New York, what do you mean? Oh, trust me.
How come you're always speaking for me?
Because I know you're going to like this question.
Go ahead.
Is it sauce or is it gravy? Now, what's your answer here?
In New York, we say sauce.
Okay, he's good. He's good, Steve, because I don't know where this gravy, you guys, some Americans, they say the gravy.
We can continue.
That's more of a New Jersey thing. You got to cross the river into New Jersey to hear that. But we disagree. The true Italians know it's sauce.
There we go. See, now we're starting off on the right foot. Perfect. So we're going to get straight into the presidential points. Steve, we had an okay week, according, Milan with the points, but we're going to get straight into it. He's going through. Let's do the game recap. So his first, so get ready to discuss Saturday's win over. You see how he's giving him instructions. Get ready to discuss Milan on the Milan Weekly podcast. Presidente,
very aggressive, very aggressive Presidente this week.
So why don't we give our thoughts before getting into the presidential points? So playing at Chievo, we know it was going to be a tough one because Chievo always seems to be like a kind of a black sheep with the.
Let's just put it out there.
Yeah,
we're in a phase in this Milan journey where every week we will stress.
Every week we'll shut, but if we go by the last two results, Steve, Chievo is at 10 points. They're due for a win. They're going to come out. We're going to stress. In the end, I think we merited to win. I don't want to talk about all this controversy, this and that, but a lot of players didn't come up very, very good, right? But in the end, Claudio? Were you satisfied for just getting the 3 points? Are you on the side that I don't care how bad it is as long as I get the 3 points, or were you, expecting a better performance?
Well, I mean, you would have liked a better performance, but at the same time, I know you guys have seen it many, many times over the past couple of seasons where we've dropped points to the last place team or the second to last place team and third to last place. Benevento 2 times last season really comes to mind. And for me, as much as you want to see a solid performance, the points are the most important thing that matter. Maybe looking ahead to the derby next week, they weren't as focused as they should be. But, going into that game ahead of Inter is the most important thing. And there were some good things. Castileo still, he played very well again, which is it's important to see him become a big part of the team down the stretch here. And they gave up a goal, which it probably would have been nicer to not concede against Gable, but like I said, the 3 points at this point is all you could ask for, especially ahead of the Inter match.
Me and Claudio are like brothers.
You're thinking exactly the
I
same.
was born in Canada, and Claudio was born in New York.
New York, yeah.
We are brothers.
Your brother, because you thought about the same thing. I know you couldn't make it to the bar, bar on Saturday, but
I could not have made it to the bar because of the 2 children that I have.
Yes.
Who were stoning my world after spring break. It's spring break for us, Claudio, here. So the kids were off, and they stayed with my wife.
Oh, nice.
Because I had to work. So on the weekend, they did not want to let me go. But I still was able to watch the game. For me, Claudio, and correct me if I'm wrong. Look, unfortunately, Conte didn't have a good game. Paqueta didn't have a good game.
Yeah.
No, and I don't get why I saw on Twitter people saying, "Oh, you're too harsh on Conte." We're not saying we're harsh on him, but he did not play to the level we were used to seeing him play in the last couple of games.
I'm a Conte fan.
Yeah.
I really think that if we put Conte and Calabria together, we will get more positives out of Conte going forward than we will from Calabria. Just because I think Conte brings another aspect to the game. I think he has a little bit more experience than Calabria. I'm not saying Calabria is not good. He came in and he did what he had to do.
But I think maybe those changes. Do you think those changes were made because he wants to go with a solid starting 11?
3 changes that were made on the weekend for the first time. First time, ladies and gentlemen, changes. On Milan Weekly Podcast, were the first time in the history of Gattuso's reign that the 3 changes were perfect changes.
Yeah, Belia had a fantastic game. Laxalt was so-so, but they were changes that needed to be done, and came up with the 3 points on that one there. So, in the end, guys, everybody was watching that game, but all our minds were on the derby this Sunday. So let's get straight into it, right? Because I know that the news.
Wait.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I want Claudio's opinion.
Go ahead.
I named 2 of those changes.
Yeah.
The third one, Suso. Suso's becoming a problem, guys. We're not getting anything from him offensively. And defensively, I think, and it's my opinion only, that he contributed to Conte's bad game.
Okay. What do you think about that?
It's a good point. Calabria, I think at this point is very used to playing with Suso on the right side. So you might be right. He might know that he has to stay back and cover a little bit more for Suso. He is, I agree with you. He hasn't been great, especially in the last few months. He really hasn't stepped up at all. But I see a positive that the team doesn't rely on him so much. Last year and the year before, I just had a feeling that if he was off, the team would have no shot in winning a game. So, the silver lining, I guess, is that at least now there's other guys that could step up and still make the difference. But, if they want to keep this up, they're going to need him to step up, especially in some of these big games like the one against Inter coming up and Juventus and Lazio down the road. They're definitely going to need him to play better because they're not really getting anything from him on that right side, and they're going to need the service to come into Piontek from both sides if they're going to be able to break down some of these teams going forward.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And where was Borini in all of this, Capitan Futuro? He could have played. I'm just saying. He could have started. Point number 1, and I think this is a big point we're going to find out tomorrow. So Gattuso, the risk of suspension. According to Corriere della Sera, we'll know by tomorrow afternoon if Gattuso will be suspended or not for Sunday's derby. There is optimism he'll just get a fine, but this all depends on what referee Pairetto wrote on his report and how severely the discipline committee evaluates his conduct. And if you guys didn't know, and because of not with the ref, but with the Maggiorini, I think, or with the other coach. Anyways, question, if Gattuso gets suspended, are you worried this will affect Milan's performance for the derby, or do you have confidence in this coaching staff to fill in the shoes? Steve, we're going to go with you first. What do you think?
First of all, Maggiorini is a snake. He comes from Inter's youth academy. Okay, he played 1 game, but he still put on that jersey, so he's a snake.
He's a snake. Yeah.
So that's a conspiracy theory that he kind of toyed Gattuso into getting a suspension. And what suspension are you gonna give this guy? Did he headbutt him? Did he choke him?
But are they gonna go with
did he make fun of his mother? What did he do? Does anybody on this podcast know what he did?
No. Claudio, do you know?
No. I don't know what he did. No.
So what suspension are you gonna do? It's a fine. Let's move on. And whether he's there or not, this is Clima Derby, guys. This is Gattuso could be there. Gesù Bambino could be there. This is Derby della Madonnina. I want 3 points.
Claudio, do you think that his past behavior will dictate the result of this decision, or you think we're safe?
I don't know. I think that he's probably going to get suspended. I would guess that he's gonna be suspended for the game. It doesn't worry me too much if he is. I think he's the kind of coach that really listens to his staff, and maybe I don't know if he's completely the brains behind the operation. I think he takes a lot of advice from the people around him. So I wouldn't be too worried. And maybe reverse psychology here. Maybe the team will want to win for him. Since he's not on the sideline, if he does indeed get suspended. So I think he will be, to be honest, just because I think when a coach gets sent off during a game, they're pretty much automatically going to be suspended for at least one more game. So I wouldn't expect him to be there.
Yeah, I'm with Claudio on this one. I just feel like there's always something that has to happen before derbies. Would it be like, one guy gets red card, he can't play in this? But I have faith in, like with you, Steve, we'll go with the 3 points, right? Number 2, Piontek Mania reaching dangerous heights, Presidente asks. So leave it to the former Milan play-by-play man Carlo Pellegatti to hype Piontek to the point of comparing him to megastars for his great season so far. He's seen it all in his 35 years of broadcasting experience. Pellegatti said the last player to win the Capocannoniere for both Serie A and Coppa Italia was Maradona. Let's enjoy this player like we did with Maradona and when Ibra won the Capocannoniere in Serie A with Milan. So, to you, Claudio, is this Piontek Mania reaching dangerous levels that will put too much pressure on El Pistolero? Are you worried that if he goes through a bad stretch of not scoring, he will come crashing down hard to unrealistic expectations?
Yeah, you always have to be worried about it, but I think he likes the pressure. It seems that way. He came as soon as he put on a Milan shirt. He said, "I love the pressure. I expect myself to score goals, and I don't." He doesn't really worry about what other people say about him. He just, he puts all the pressure on himself. So I think that he's going to be fine, and there's going to come a time where he's not scoring the way he's scoring now. Every striker goes through it, but. Hopefully during that time, to take off some of the pressure from him, little Patrick Cutrone comes in and starts scoring some goals. That would be nice. But I think he's going to be fine. He's a very strong player, strong mentally. You could just see that by the way he plays, and he attacks the ball and attacks the goal, and he kind of gets involved in all the play the way he needs to. So. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much, but I would like for the media to kind of focus on something else. Maybe they could focus on Icardi for a few more days and leave Piontek alone for now.
Yeah, we enjoy, this is to the point that even my grandmother watching the show, at least she's like, who's this blonde girl? What's their problem? This and that. It's reached new levels, this Icardi and Wanda over there. Steve, you think it's a bit too much, or you go with Claudio saying that it looks like he can take the pressure?
I think the best thing for Il Pistoliero is that he doesn't understand Italian right now. And he can't read all these headlines because whether we like it or not, guys, this is a lot of pressure. We can't start throwing around names like Maradona and Ibra. The guy is a freak, right? For someone to come, like playing who knows 4th division in Poland to Genoa and now from Genoa to Milan in such a short sprint of time and scoring goals the way he scores goals, there will be a dip. But I think this guy is RoboCop. He reminds me of RoboCop because it seems like he doesn't he has ice in his veins. I hope it continues. I want to see. This is derby time.
Let's see what
if he could show up in the derby and be as effective as he's been throughout the year with Genoa and Milan, both Coppa Italia and Serie A, then I say yes. It's time to get on the train. Piontek Mania, I think it's again. No offense to all the media, it's things to write about, right? They need to find things that they need to bring up for Milan, for all the other teams. Inter has their telenovela, and that's Wanda and Icardi, which is I would love to see if he's gonna play this weekend.
Well, watch him come on, or something.
Just
like
to bust balls.
Just to bust balls, and he said, you know what? Who cares? Bring him on. But even Piontek, I think, why did he scored how many goals at the Genoa? Like there was a bit of talk about him. Oh, look at this player now he's at Milan, and obviously they're gonna talk about him because there's nothing exciting about Milan for the last several years. Other than the Higuains or the Bonucci that we all know how that turned out from over there, but I just don't like it when they start comparing to other people.
No, don't start comparing.
But I'm with you that it looks like he can take it.
If they take out the world class word,
yeah,
I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna write for Claudio. I'm gonna send him a piece about world class, throwing out the word world class.
Let's on a side note, Steve. How many world class players are in the world according to you right now?
Right now, 2.
World class?
2 world class.
Would you not say in the world maybe 5 world class players?
No, 2.
Claudio, you?
I'm more. I think 5. I think you could find probably 1 at each position. So I would say like 5.
Yeah, 5. You said Koulibaly is a world class defender. Did you not the other time?
Could be world class.
Could be. Okay, and so you're just going. Okay, let's move on.
World class, guys. World class. Correct me if I'm wrong. World class is like you're either coming to the end of your career and you were world class for the entire portion.
So
of your
only
career.
Messi and Ronaldo are world class? Neymar is not world class? Neymar's not world class.
Who was crying on the sideline when PSG got kicked out again?
We're talking about his performance on the pitch. He's not world class?
Does he have a World Cup?
Huh?
Does he have a World Cup?
No.
Does he have a Champions League?
No.
Not world class.
No. Moving on, because we're going to be talking all day. Number 3, cup tied. There are folks that find it it's not right for Piontek to play at the Coppa Italia with Milan since he was cup tied when he played with Genoa. Should the rule of being cup tied apply? Where does he come up with these questions?
I don't know.
I love it. Claudio, should the rule of being cup tied apply to Coppa Italia like it does with the Europa League, Champions League, or is this just people complaining for nothing and therefore you should just skip this question and move on to the next one? You know what? He actually just did it for us, so we're going to skip to the next one, but because this question, like Coppa Italia is an
Who understands the rules of Coppa Italia?
Yeah.
No, nobody.
It's true. I mean, people just complain to complain if they're complaining about this because why? I mean, then you might as well not make transfers happen in season. You might as well just wait until the summer and you can only switch teams in the summer because then if you can't play in the Coppa Italia, why would you be able to play in Serie A for a different team? It just doesn't make any sense. Only if you leave the country, maybe you could play for a different team. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Got that. Very well said. Number 4 is Clima Derby style. Is saying last time we beat Inter.
Can you play music at the same time we talk to Claudio?
No, I can't. I would have to use another device. It's okay, Steve. Last time we won with the January 31st, 2015 when we beat them 3-0. So let's go in depth. Steve, you think Icardi is going to show up?
I don't care. I want Inter's best team on the field. I don't want any excuses if we win.
Hypothetically, you think Icardi is match fit? I don't think he's been training.
I don't know if he's match fit to be. If I'm what's his name there? What's the bald guy's name? Spalletti. I'm not making this guy play.
I wouldn't. Would you make him play if you were Inter coach, Claudio? After all this?
I don't see how he can. I mean, he's talented, no doubt, but it seems like the rest of the team isn't really getting along with him right now. So I don't think you throw him on in this game. What does it show the rest of the team if he sat out? It seems like voluntarily he sat out these past couple of weeks, and now he comes back and he's like, I want to play, and you put him on the field. I don't think it sends the right message to the rest of the team, and so I really don't see him doing it, but I wouldn't mind having him play because he hasn't played in a few weeks. And so I wouldn't mind if he was on the field
and have like Bakayoko just take him out, right? So Steve, do you see us going with a ball possession, passing kind of? You just like the song, don't you? Why are we having this music while we're answering?
Because Claudio needs to know that it's derby time.
Are we gonna go with finesse? Steve. Okay, so I'm gonna ask Claudio. Claudio, we're gonna go with finesse, ball possession, or we're just gonna have like let's take them out kind of like over muscle. What do you think is the best course of action?
I think you got to stay true to yourself. I think they try to play it out from the back, ball possession. That kind of style. It doesn't always work out, obviously, as we've seen over and over again. But they do try that. That's what Gattuso tries to practice at least. So I think that's just be true to yourself. At this point, I feel that Milan is the better team. I just think that they have their strongest 11. Right now, I think it's better than Inter's strongest 11. There's some great players on both sides, but I really think that they are the better team, and the standings show that. So if it was up to me, I would just go out and play your game and try to pin Inter back the whole game, keep the ball away from them. They're strong on the counter attack, but you know what? We have some speed now in the defense with Musacchio, and Calabria, I'm sure, is going to start. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, and I would just try to keep control of the game and make things very difficult. And they've been folding under pressure a lot lately, Inter, so I think that's the best thing to do, try to keep them under pressure. But the main thing is to score goals. If they have chances, Milan, they have to take them and score goals. They can't be one of these games where they create, but have nothing to show for it. They really need to score, and I feel like they have to score early at some point in the first half. So.
We definitely need to score in the first. Steve, are you going with the regular starting 11? Would you go with the passing finesse, or we try to do like a strong kind of like, foul here, foul there, and just try to be physical?
No. We need to dictate the play. We need to play our game.
So you're going to go with Bakayoko, Kessie, you're going to go with our regular starting 11?
I would go the strongest starting 11, the most fit. He's got a week to practice. Choose your best 11, and let's go. Let's go. Roll up your sleeves, and let's go for the dogfight.
Belia having a good game last one. Do you even risk it, or maybe bring him on in the maybe early second half?
He's gonna have to see how the game plays out. To be very honest with you, but Bakayoko, he's had a good season. I think he deserves to start this derby.
A well-deserved rest too on the last game there.
Frank needs to put the ball in the back of the net. Too many chances for Frank that he's missing. I'm a big fan of Frank.
Team Frank right over here.
Frank, but Frank needs to bury those chances. At 2-1, I would have been able to relax a little bit more when he buries that chance on the counter, which was a perfect counter, but he doesn't. So we need to bury our chances. Claudio's 100% right. Can't go missing the net from the penalty spot or inside the box and creating. Especially, we have so much trouble creating in the final third, where it seems like the computer goes into reboot when we reach into the final third. That in the derby, everything is magnified 1,000%.
Yeah, and we need, if this is going according to what we think, guys, it's going to be Çalhanoğlu and Suso once again. We need them to exercise their demons, and we need them to come up, because if they don't show up, we've come up in the last 3 games coming up with points, but the last 3 games they haven't shown up, and we still managed to get points. But against an Inter, it might hurt, right? So do you agree with me? Would you keep Çalhanoğlu and Suso in there, or would you even take a chance, or let's go with those regular starting 11s, Claudio?
Yeah, I would give them the starting nod. I would start them, Çalhanoğlu and Suso. But if the only thing is, if it's not working out, I think all the players on Milan really, the attacking players at least, and even Bakayoko, you could tell really from the beginning of the game if they're gonna have a bad game or not. I don't know what it is. It's just if they start off bad, they really never snap out of it. It's just one of those days for them. So if Gattuso or whoever's on the sideline for the game sees that, I think that the subs have to come early in the second half. If Suso's not really performing well, or Çalhanoğlu is not really performing well, I think right away, you have to bring in a Castillejo or someone, or Cutrone, someone off the bench to try to change things. I don't want to see one of these games where they're not performing and, then we get a change in the 75th minute. I think 60th minute, 55th minute even, if it's really that obvious, get them out of there. But, hopefully they start they start off strong, and we don't have to worry about that, because if the two of them are playing well, Piontek should have plenty of opportunities to score. So hopefully that's how the game plays out.
Definitely. Before we let you go, I want to get your guys' thoughts on the Piontek bicycle. Oh, it was a foul. The guy complaining. You guys rewatched it. That was not a foul, was it, Steve? We've seen these things kind of called, right? But what was your opinion? Let's put our Serie A hats on, and could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way. To be very honest, too, in the end, it was a good non-call. Do I agree that it's a non-call 100% of the time? Probably not. No. The ref is gonna actually call that because he's scared of.
He just sees like else. Yeah, exactly.
And the VAR magnified it 100 times over, where the guy, he missed him completely, and he ended up touching the ball with his arm.
Yeah, and if the foot would have touched him somewhere on the neck or on the, okay, I get it, but it was not even close. Do you see it as a foul there, or do you see it as a 50-50 there, Claudio?
Yeah, no, it was a 50-50, but I agree that most of the time that's going to get called a foul. So I give the ref a credit in that situation, because you let it play out now with the VAR. Let it play out. If that way, if a goal happens, you could always review it, and if it really wasn't a goal, if it was a foul, then you call it then. But if the play would have been stopped dead then, as it would have been in the past and in a lot of other games, then the goal would have never came to fruition, and that stinks. So I think it was a good job by the referee. Unfortunately, I do see that called probably 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah. But
I'm glad, for that one time it wasn't called, because once the VAR came and everything, and you could tell it wasn't a foul. So it was a good non-call.
Yeah, fine. So we're all on the same wavelength as that one. So where are you going to be watching the game this Sunday?
Me, honestly, for big games, I like to just sit on my couch. Not be bothered. If you go out to some of these bars and the fans mix together and everything, and they're always showing the English games, over the Italian games for whatever reason.
Obviously.
So it's better. I like to just stay home for a game like this and watch it from my own couch. What about you guys? You getting together with the club?
Yeah, we're gonna be at I feel because sometimes these big games, especially back in the days in the Champions League, I would love to stay home, but we found with the Milan club, we don't have that group of people that just we have to hear them complaining and those guys. No, I'm saying you don't have those other groups of fans that they think they know better than you, or they've played the game for 40 years. We're between us, we're between us and having a good time. But we're probably I'm gonna have a few beers, Steve.
I will have a couple of vodkas, yes.
A couple of vodkas. It's Klima Derby.
Vodkas.
Yeah, it's 5:00 somewhere. Even if it was 9:00 in the morning, who cares? But definitely. Let's hope for all the Milan brotherhood that we are present around the world, that they give us 3 points, a more solidify our third spot, right? And would it be New York? Would it be Montreal, Toronto, Milan Club, Dublin after 5 years? Guys, we need to be all cheering at the same time. Hopefully, they make it happen for us this weekend. Before we let you go, Claudio, go right ahead again and just plug away. Give us your Twitter handles, your como se dice the other things over there. Twitter, there's Instagram machine. What else is there?
Yeah, but Claudio's a writer. He's going to tell us what we can find.
Yeah, exactly. It's writing. That's what we want to find out.
Yeah, so like I said, my Twitter handle is @cperfetto11. That's where you could find me, and all the stuff that I write for is on my Twitter page. That's the easiest place to find me, but the sites specifically are gianlucadimarzio.com, the English page. That's where I write all the transfer news and Serie A reports and all that kind of stuff. And then cloudsports.info is a British website that I write for, and I have my own page there, so I write pretty much whatever I want. And then the Milan stuff is on sempremilan.com, and that's all of the Milan stuff: player ratings, match reviews, match reports, previews, all that kind of stuff. And I'm actually going to start writing for Cloud Sports about Formula One. I know you guys have a big race up there, so if anybody's interested in that, I'll be starting to write about Formula 1 2 on Cloud Sports.
Well,
so that's my plug.
Sounds fantastic. He just probably plugged himself to how many listens? At least 2.3 million last week. Yeah, so you're gonna get some spikes there from all our listeners across the world. But great talking to you, and I love talking to all these writers. Like, that have the passion for the sport and actually put it into words. As you can see, we do it into words, but spoken words, because we can't write for shit.
No.
But honestly, thank you very much, Claudio, for joining us, and we'll catch up sometime soon.
Claudio, I'm gonna leave you with one thing. I want you to do a survey of DiMarzio and all his writers. And this is a question from Fat Steve. Penne rigati or penne lisci? That's what I want to know.
That's a very good question. Did you get that?
Wait, repeat that. It broke up a little bit.
So I want you to ask all the writers for DiMarzio and Mr. DiMarzio as well what he prefers. And this is from Steve, Fat Steve, from Montreal. He knows.
He knows.
Ask him, does he prefer penne rigati or penne lisci?
Well, I'll ask him. Do you want my answer or no?
Well,
Yeah,
of course,
of
I
course.
want your answers.
I'm a penne rigate kind of.
Yeah, you gotta go with rigati. The leash, they just go in.
They're like goldfish. they squiggle down.
Claudio's one of us, man. He's one of us. Claudio, thank
But
you.
I'll ask everybody else for you. Thanks for having me. I had a great time.
Thank you. We'll
Claudio.
talk soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Ciao.
Boom.
He calls it sauce,
Yeah.
not gravy.
Penne rigati.
Penne rigati. Who eats penne leash? In what circumstances would penne leash come into pasta?
there's
Maybe
no-
a pasta al forno, like they have all kinds of cheese on top, and you have to.
Not even. You need the sauce to stick. It's for like pasta patate and shit like that,
Pasta patat. Yeah, that's been a while. I haven't had pasta
Carbs
patat.
1000%.
So now I have to do what? I have to go into the Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, Twitter machine. Now I go to search. I do hashtag. No, hold on. I put myself here. Sorry, guys. This is. Oh, now go to our notifications. And what is our. Where are we? Ask Vinny and Steve. I click on the. And what would you like as a background music as we listen to the sports? Would you like that one that I made you listen to? The one that was.
Which one?
Well, let me put it back on. I'm sure you're gonna like it. Guys, I created a monster. Steve is going to be tonight playing some reruns of. You're gonna go watching at home when you.
I would love to play it in the loop.
I could actually just put it in the back and just put it. You want me to do that? Jesus! Hold on a second. Where are we? Are we? Italian? No, the podcast. Here we go.
Uno, due, tre, quattro,
Okay.
10 kg di carne, 20 kg
Listen,
di
it's your
carne.
song.
That's another good one.
Okay, so let me see. Buonasera, Milan Weekly Pod from the Culture Guy. He's always so polite.
I love
huh?
these guys.
He's so polite.
What a good kid.
With Milan's healthy midfield issue, Pacatakesi Bakayoko Bilia, is it too loud? Should I lower it? It's a bit loud. Okay, we're gonna lower it down. His question: starting 11, right? Also, with Suso still somewhat invisible, should he be some bench time or continue playing? We spoke about it just a little bit, right, Steve? But we don't think this would be the right time to, take out Suso or not going with our.
I don't know. It's tough. I say I want to see the best 11 that we could put out there. And like Claudio said, if Suso is not performing, if he's invisible for a half, it's got to be a quick change. We got to bring in the wild horse, and I nicknamed him the wild horse. Castillejo!
He hasn't had bad performances, but I think here's what I would say to the Culture Guys. I would say if Çalhanoğlu or Suso are not at 100%, you do not need to wait until the 75th,
No.
like a 55th, 60-minute change,
At the
especially
half.
if it's even
At the
better.
half.
Even better. Eddie Milanista, he's asked. Paquetá looked exhausted by the 25th minute versus Chievo. We totally agree. Do you guys think Milan can afford not starting him? Or has he become integral to Milan's form that not playing him costs us the battle in midfield? I wouldn't start. I wouldn't not start it.
No, he has to start.
Because then what would you do, guys? Bring in Montolivo? You know, you can go with Bilia because see him Bakayoko. I think it's normal to have seen him We can, but I think it was only normal to see him that tired.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't taken a break.
Maybe against Kievo was the rest that he missed, you understand? So it's unfortunately we don't know how that game was going to turn out, but it's unbelievable to say, but Kievo was his worst game. Even worse than his, the first game he played, he looked a little bit, I'm getting used to this league. Then performance went up, and Kievo really dropped. Like, he was losing balls, he was undecisive, he looked a bit lost, he looked a bit frazzled. Let's wipe it clean, and let's go. Derby time, Paquetá.
Makes sense. And the next question coming from Milan Legends.
The legend.
I want to get somebody else's opinion on this question here. What do you think? Should we give him a call?
Yeah.
I think we should give him a call.
It's Tommy time, ladies and gentlemen.
Because he's probably on his couch just waiting for the call.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, Tommy. He looks forward to these things, Tommy. Let's see over here.
It's Tommy time. Tommy time. It's Tommy time. Tommy time.
Hello. Tommy. Tommy, you there? Hello? He's not answering.
Tommy time. Tommy time's not answering. Go to the question. Let's go.
Well, he's probably going to call right back. The question, guys, before he calls me back, is getting closer to second place. Do you think Milan can actually pull it off and get themselves ahead of Napoli?
We have even another question lower down from the Romanista, my buddy, Vinny G, who sweated his pits out tonight, my friends.
It was his birthday too. Well, I gotta go through the whole list. Look how many questions there is.
No, for sure, but I'm just telling you, I saw it down the list, and we can combine them together.
Down the list. Oh, there he goes. Do you really think second place is realistic considering you put together this team this year? Forza Roma. Vinny G. Let me give him...
Vinny G, for the time that I know this guy, has gone for Parma, Fiorentina, and now he's at Roma.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Buonasera, Mr. Tommy. How are you?
Good. You?
Very good. Very. Well, actually, we were going through our questions, and there was a question here that we needed to ask you, your opinion, and it came from a couple of people. What do you think, Tommy? Do we have a chance of taking Napoli's second spot, being 6 points away?
What did I say 2-3 weeks ago?
That's exactly
you guys were saying bold words. And I told you guys 2-3 weeks ago that if Napoli was not going to be careful, we were even going to be going second. I think we have a great chance of becoming second, taking second place. You know why?
Tell me.
If we beat Inter.
When we beat Inter.
Yes.
No, we will beat Inter. There's no question about it. I'm telling you, we will beat Inter. Napoli still has La Roma. They still have to play La Roma and Inter. And during those two games, Milan is going to have easy games. I think they're playing, I don't remember. Today I was looking. I don't remember the calendar exactly. But I know there were easy games. If Napoli stumbles, or not even stumbles, I'm not even going to say stumble. Let's say Napoli ties 3 games. We win those 3 games.
3 times.
We're in a very good position, my friend.
You know what? I like Tommy.
Very good position.
He's always
it's
been
only 6 points.
He's always been very bold, and he's never been wrong so far, right? The trashing of Juventus,
wait, but we have to see tomorrow.
Well, Juventus è una merda. You see what happened today? You see what happened today? Everybody was saying he's Dotto Allegri, and they said Zidane and this, and what happened?
Zidane went to Real.
Zidane is not stupid. Zidane signed for Real. Why? Because he knows. Juventus. He was a legend at Real. If he goes to Juventus, he's gonna put his name in shit. Because la Juventus è una merda. Wherever they go, and una merda completa. Even if tomorrow l'impresa, like you guys say, like everybody says, ci crede l'impresa, la Juventus. Even if they beat Atletico Madrid, which it won't happen, but even if they do, they're still full of garbage.
I think if they
Because you have to put it in their head. They're never going to win that Champions League.
If they end up winning or losing tomorrow, I think I'm coming over to your house and we're doing a live Tommy time 5 time. Tommy, so you're saying that it is possible, and do you go with our regular starting 11 on Sunday, even with Suso and Çalhanoğlu?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. With one exception, though. I would like to, I've been harsh on Hakan Çalhanoğlu for the past 2 weeks. I admit it. But I think Çalhanoğlu should come off the bench. I think he's more productive when he comes out of the bench. Let's say after 60 minutes that the game is played, when there's a half an hour left in the game, he should come out, and he produced.
Yeah,
he produced.
That we forgot to touch base on that, but Tommy's right on that one, guys. He did come off the bench. He seemed a bit, who knows, a bit.
Well, he couldn't have done worse than the player that was on the pitch.
That's true. So I like that, and we'll discuss it a bit further. So Tommy says possible second place. Tommy says Juventus is going out tomorrow.
Risultato. I want the risultato.
Okay, Tommy, what's the risultato of this Sunday?
Milan-Inter.
Yeah.
3-1 per il Milan.
Bold once again by Tommy. 3-1 in the end.
L'Inter non ce la farà. L'Inter is on one leg. These people are saying parapik, parapap. The other time they won because Icardi was there. And even his goals were all luck. So, now Icardi is not going to be playing.
We don't know. We don't know yet. But even if he wants to play,
but even if they have Icardi, which I would like them to have, then they're still going to lose. Because this time, it's our year, my friend. We need that Champions League. We need it, and we can smell it bad. And we're going to go get it.
Guys, listen, you've heard it here first once again by Tommy. We're going to see you next Sunday, because we're already in Clima Derby. We're going to be there nice and early. Facciamo un bello caffè.
Ci puoi contare, amico mio. Ci puoi contare.
You guys understood there. So if you guys want to see live Tommy Time, if you're from Montreal, come to Bar Ciociaro's this Sunday. We will all be there. Once again, Tommy.
Festeggiamo pure la Juventus out of the Champions League. I promise you, tomorrow they're going to lose.
Guys.
At Torino, they're going to lose. At Torino. That's what they're going to lose. And I voglio vedere tutta la faccia di sti Juventini, that they're going to be so, il campione, che ha fatto 34 anni, they're going to get un altro cadavere a Marcelo. Another cadaver they're going to come bring in. Which they even said that he might not even go.
Well, always so entertaining. Speaking directly from the house, Mr. Tommy, we bid you adieu. Have yourself a fantastic evening. And always.
Well, I would like to say once again, you guys are great and really fine gentlemen. And once again, Forza Milan, guys.
Forza Milan, Tommy. Ciao.
Good. Ci vediamo. Ciao.
Who else can you call and just straight off the bat get directly into those conversations? So Milan legends, we answered some part of the question. You know what it is with Tommy? It's like, you always have that guy that, he always like trashes another team and you can't wait until they do the other. I told you so. We haven't had the opportunity to tell Tommy. No. He seems that guy that he's always going to be, what did I tell you?
Nostro Tommaso.
So we have Colin Renton from Milan Club Dublin there. So Milan got a win against Chievo without much creativity. Do we approach the remaining games like this, or do we be more creative on the ball? Against Inter, we need to do better. Thanks for the message to Milan Club Dublin, guys. With pleasure.
With pleasure.
What do you think, Steve? Do we gotta be? We spoke better about it. We need to go back with that possession.
We gotta be better. We gotta be better because the Chievos, the Sassuolo, the Empoli, we got away with it. the better teams, and I'm including the Snakes, they're going to be less forgiving, and we're going to be all disappointed. And they're going to be disappointed because the final third is a problem, guys. The final third is a problem.
And I think forget like Tommy saying, coming off the bench, Çalhanoğlu like very early. We spoke about early changes. I think we've been very bad in the last third because we always waited for these changes. But I think yes, starting 11 as is. But a guy like Castillejo should not be waiting. Like you're saying, if there needs to be a halftime change, do it.
Yeah.
Like just screw up with their game plans because they're never gonna expect anything like that, right? Eggs and pancakes. Eggs and Alessandro. Did you gentlemen agree with Tommy Time suggested that we get rid of the Turkish Fantasma and Suso, pair up Cutrone, Piontek, Paquetá at central attack midfielder, Biliakesi, Bakayoko in the mid. Also, does Bakayoko deserve 35 million price, or should we buy Milinkovic Savic? Well, Tommy always has these ideas. I don't see a midfield of I don't see Biliakesi and Bakayoko. I think there's too many similarities in there. But to your question of Bakayoko, 35 million price tag.
It's cheap.
It's cheap now, but I think there's maybe some deal going on maybe with the whole Chelsea thing.
It'll be less than 35. If it's less than 30, it's cheap and it's good.
And we're gonna probably do it in installments as well. Obviously, you see that he wants to say. I even liked the. Did you see Bilia's Instagram post? Where he just took a picture of him, Bakayoko, hugging. It's like, here's to all of you. Like, this is the team spirit that we have right now, and it's great to see.
But I don't mind that, man. I agree with Tommy. I think if it's time to change, fortunately, it's... look, it's not only Çalhanoğlu, guys. We keep on saying Çalhanoğlu is a phantasma. Suso...
Has been a phantasma.
Has been a phantasma. At least Çalhanoğlu, the last game, he came off the bench and he did produce. He did, Tommy said, he did produce.
And Suso was at 8 assists 3 months ago, 2 months
and
ago, he's still there, right? So, but it will be interesting to see. I think the lineup changes will be if we manage to finish the year, top 4, and we got there by scraping. He's gonna need to something change, especially if he's gonna be our coach next year.
Unfortunately, too, also Çalhanoğlu was brought in for his free kick taking. Bilia.
Did you guys see that goal?
Fantastic free kick, guys.
Wow! And the joy in his face to see that, right?
Yeah, and we need to be more dangerous on those set pieces. Not only when we're going direct to net, but also to get the ball whipped in properly.
Hazem, previous guest from over here. So, what do you think we should do with Castillejo next season? Keep him as a squad player, or do you think he will be an established starter by then, considering summer reinforcements? It's a good question.
Who we sell.
Depends who we sell.
But Castillejo is a fantastic super sub.
He has been.
Yeah, and if we go through an injury crisis with a year under his belt in Serie A, he's gonna start understanding the game as well. He's flopping less.
Mm-hmm.
He was not. I was watching the game and I found he was losing a lot of balls in the air. Okay. But hey, to my surprise, guess who gets at the end of the ball to keep that chance alive for Piontek? Castillejo.
Right. Evo here at Evo AC Milan 1899. So hello lads, a huge fan of the show. You are actually the best podcast I know of, and I am happy because almost always one of you share my opinion on the matter. So I have only 2 quick questions. First one is, are you happy with...
Whoa, Evo. One question at a time.
First one is, are you happy with Hakan's performance against Kevo? We spoke about it. We were... he wasn't a superstar, but we were impressed for what he was able to do off the bench.
The 3 points helps too.
Yeah, but where's the second question? Or maybe it's in the comments. See, I know about comments. I think a second question: what are your realistic expectations for the derby? We win, but no convincingly. So good form, but stop. 3 points.
3 points. That's all we want. 3 points.
Ugly,
off someone's back, off someone's chin. I don't care.
Anything.
Own goal from Ranocchia, ladies and gentlemen.
Would he be a striker? Ranocchia.
We don't know.
There he is. He doesn't want us to call him. Can we call him right now?
No, he won't answer.
Francis, why don't you come by on Sunday, Francis? We're glad to have you. You're probably the only.
3 years he wants to come.
Well, can we make a video with him or something? He's gonna have Mike over there.
He's gonna be listening to this tomorrow in the metro, so he's gonna let us know.
Have Milan been this good, or just a little lucky and blessed by Donnarumma's this one was on from March 4th. Sorry. To Cutrone. Hey guys, should Çalhanoğlu stay with his wife in Germany for the rest of the season? We'll see how he performs for the rest of the season, but so
whatever happened to him, fixed him. At this point, guys,
we need him to perform.
Let's make everything clear, guys.
Yeah.
I don't care who scores. I don't care who assists. What I care is that these colors finish in the top 4. If they finish second, if they finish third, if they finish fourth, I don't care how. I don't care who. I want to play Champions League, because the next Italian team to win the Champions League. Sta Milan.
You understood? AC Milan Nagura to T Pepperoni. Oh, it's fine. But this is 12 hours ago, so I'm good. Good day, lads. Another win for our boys. However, we still aren't firing on all cylinders. What is missing? Is it due to squad being so young and inconsistent come with that? Or is it a tactical issue in transition from defense to attack? I'm going to say one thing, Mr. T Pepperoni. I think it's a good sign. And here's how I think it's a good sign. The last 8 years, every single time there's a dip, these are all the games, or we would play badly. These are all the kind of games, guys, that we would lose, come off with maybe 1 point. We are somehow finding ways
Stop hitting the table.
To get points. We are. You see how the headphones come in handy? So, yes, it's a bit of tiredness. We talked about Paquetá before, but I think it's a good sign. If I want to try to think of it on a positive note, you, Steve, do you think it's like, what's missing? Is there something missing?
It's a bit of lack of experience, a lot of young players, and again, I cannot stress the issue that we have in the final third. I don't even know if it's a transition game. I don't know. I just think that maybe we put so much emphasis in getting the ball out of the back that once we get to the final third, we run out of ideas, and that's a bit scary because we have a goal scoring machine who's hungry and needs to have the ball. Yes, we can all say that we at that price tag we want him to create a little bit on his own, but we have to find ways not only to get him service in goal scoring chances. I think we have to start finding a way to get him involved in the game, even to create chances off of it.
That's why, he's got all these answers, Steve.
Born in the wrong country.
Medzi, fellow Milan Club Montreal member. After Bilia's masterclass on Saturday, we have a rich problem in the midfield. Should Gattuso start with Bakayoko on the derby and leave Bilia on the bench, or should they change the system and try to play Bilia, Bakayoko, and Kessie all together?
Okay. If this would have been the beginning of the year podcast, with those names in the midfield, would we have ever seen the words, we have a rich midfield, and those players in the same sentence? We have them guys playing the best that they've all played in a long time. Mm-hmm. We have them healthy. Bilia back, maybe not game ready 100%, but he looked really good against Gil. We need consistency now, guys. Whether it's whatever combination you want to see in that midfield, again, I do not care. I want to see the players who are most informed. And this is a bit on the coaching staff too. Get out your camcorders. Presidente has the VHS, the one with the remote control with the wire. I'm pretty sure you guys have some technology. Start watching what Inter does, and let's see how we can exploit the difficulties that they have on defense in certain cases. Not all the time, but they are a little bit vulnerable. They have a little bit of a problem too. Their wingers sometimes don't show up.
3 points, guys.
3 points.
A thank you to Milan Club Toronto, because Maurizio likes to put follow the rules.
Yeah.
Sabrina Belmonte she's from Toronto.
I love Sabrina. I love
what are your derby predictions? We spoke about this, and Maurizio right away. Hey, use the hashtag. It's easier for them because he knows Maurizio. We're not very good with all this.
Stop hitting the table.
I'm sorry. What else do we have? Look. Simon trying to put over Presidente. Let's
Yeah.
say on a scale from 0 to how important are the 3 points this weekend against the... On a scale from 0 to Presidente,
So Presidente being
Is
the
a
most
10.
popular.
Simon, we already put him over as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the things. And I think everybody else has been answered. Yes. So please, guys, I like this whole hashtag kind of thing. It's easier for us to find. I really appreciate this. And by the way, big news. I'm actually logged on to Twitter, so whenever you guys have these little things, they ring. I could see what you guys. So maybe one of these days, I'm gonna what do you call it? Slip into your DMs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slip into your DMs. Sorry, I banged the door. Guys, Klima Derby, Sunday.
Brioche,
Yes, sorry, I got excited about. Well, we're talking
shut
about.
this music off.
All right, that was question time. So, allora, dove siamo? So, the indigestion of the week to Presidente was, the coach Di Carlo complaining about Piontek foul. We spoke about this. He has a right to be frustrated that his team lost. But he went over the top with his accusation. Milan won because of these correct decisions, which is a good point. I'm going to go again with Icardi and Wanda. Dude, honestly, guys, I said it before in the show, it's got to the point, my grandmother's not feeling 100%, she's living with my parents, go up and see them, and it's like, she's looking, and she's like, but what did she do, this woman? Like, who's she talking? I'm like, this is where we're at right now. And she's on a talk show, and she's pulling herself as like, she's a victim.
Yeah.
That she's the victim or anything. But I'm like, for my 84-year-old grandmother that does not know anything about Serie A, she'll see like the matches on the TV, but for it to get to this point, and she's interested, like, what's going on? Get it over with. And she's saying that she's working for peace. She wants peace, Wanda. That's what she's working for. Did we ever find out why he's not playing? Did they ever actually said the reason?
He's injured. He's doing
injured.
some workout.
Just work on. Steve, do you have any?
No, I'm really happy that Milan is playing, getting results. No indigestion for me this week, guys.
Is Brioshki? Well, Presidente wanted to send his Brioshki. Good feel-good moment to Milan Club Dublin once again. Scarves, shirts, guys, fantastic video you guys put up together. I saw like all the Milan clubs around the world. Hopefully,
Brioche of the week.
we have a family reunion one of these days that we just gather up every single Milan club in the world. That will be a great feeling.
Yeah.
My feel-good moment, I believe there was somebody that's with Di Marzio that said that they watched the game with Gattuso because they went to the thing.
Yeah.
And he felt like he was watching it with a common fan and this and that. Like, you love hearing those kind of stories because, Gattuso, even though we ragged on him at the beginning, sempre uno di noi, so that was my feel good of the moment. How about the brioche of the week, Steve? Bilia,
guys, a long injury, bad injury, long time to come back, long time to recuperate, gets on the pitch, puts in a fantastic performance, gets a goal. That's what soccer's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Or seeing Kessie, like all the players have left and he's still dancing.
Yeah.
Chi non salta nera azzurro, Siamo in Clima Derby,
Yes.
guys. For anybody in Montreal, come see us. We're gonna be over there. We have
Barciaro,
Sergio that's gonna
Sawicz.
be at the Derby. We're gonna try to see live video of this guy. Which reminds President, if you listen to get Sergio's information, we don't have. He's got iPhone. Tell him to download WhatsApp so we can live video. Maybe take a video from over there. Let's win this one. Let's get.
Imagine if he could plug his phone to like the Jumbotron and we can do a Milan Weekly podcast for the people like underneath La Curva. You
Look
know?
how professional we've become in the last several months. You don't think we can make
Just
it
that
happen?
your head is cut off in the fucking video.
That's not my fault. Ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao guys.